right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all should know what's going on by now, man. It's another episode, man. It's been a little second, you know what I mean? I ain't did another ClANMADE interview for a couple weeks now, you know what I mean? So, decided, you know what I'm saying, we got to go ahead and bring it back for the people, man. You know what I'm saying? It's really nothing new. It's long overdue. You know what I mean? I ain't going to talk too much. We're going to get right into it with the guest. I'm not going to introduce him. Let him introduce himself, you know what I'm saying? But if you was here for season 1, you know what's going on, you know what I mean? So, you know what I'm saying? Without further ado, we'll go ahead and get into it. Go ahead and, you know what I mean, introduce yourself or reintroduce yourself to people, you know what I'm saying, that might not know what's going on, right?
Yeah, a lot of people probably don't know the face, you know, they definitely know the name. Maserati Mal, Legendary Ink, tattoos, you know what I'm saying? Get with me.
Get with him, man, yeah. So, you know what I mean? You ever see any ink work and, you know, pictures I post, you know what I'm saying, personally, you know what I mean, if y'all in tune with what I got going on, you ever see any ink work or something like that, he definitely did it, 9 times out of 10, you know what I'm saying,
yeah.
Pretty much 10 out of 10, so it's like, yeah, get with him, for sure. So what you been up to lately though, man? I know, you know, definitely know you've been, you know, on your grind and shit like that, so what's new, man, what's new?
I mean, ain't really nothing new other than life, you know, as far as, you know, business is still the same thing day to day, you know, working. Talking to clients, trying to, you know, progress and, you know, take that next step, but, you know, just life.
I done seen you doing some tap outs lately.
Yeah.
That's what you more, like, you focusing in on right now?
Right now, yeah. I notice with myself, it's like a pattern I see myself doing, you know, as far as, like, pricing, I switch it up. Usually towards the beginning of the year, I like to try to focus, you know, try to get in on the work, and tap outs is the best way to try to do it for me, I see. You know, later on in the year, I kind of like to focus on, you know, trying to get better at the art side of it. So, I mean, I kind of quote towards, you know, pricing by the piece, but tap outs right now, tap outs is the thing to do. So
get with them. How can they get in tune with those?
You can inbox me. Or you can text. Preferably text because I had some funky stuff going on with inboxing and fake pages and whatnot.
That's what we're here for, you know what I'm saying? What's
the
details on that? Like, what made you go ahead and, you know what I'm saying, switch methods?
Instagram. Normally I see it with bigger, you know, artists than me. They have fake pages, you know, scam people who take their deposits because almost everybody have a deposit for their.
Some people use that as a little goal. They say, you know, you're doing something when you got motherfuckers out there trying to imitate.
You know, yeah. I took it as a little, you know, form of flattery, but you know what I'm saying, for the clients, they was a little frustrated because I didn't even know it was a fake page made, and you know, people was reaching out to this page thinking they had sessions set up with me. And it wasn't me at all.
So what was the page like? They just like put your name or a picture?
Yeah, they had my logo, which is, you know, Legendary Ink, and then they had Legendary Ink as the username, and they had my government name, Malcolm Walker, on there as well. So it's like they knew all of that. They had to go all the way back because I ain't even had that. You know, I'm Maserati Mal for like 4, 5, 6, 7 years now. So
like. What made you, like, I guess I could say, like, what made you take it on the chin like that? Like, 'cause some people, like, they go out their way to try to find, you know,
who it is,
the culprit.
Yeah,
you know
get their money and everything. It's, you know,
it must have not really affected too much. It was just like,
no, it didn't. I mean, the people who know who I am, you know, they kind of was like, okay, because it was just, you know, $20, $50. It wasn't like they spent their whole, you know, price of the session on it. It was just a deposit. So I mean, most people understood, you know, what it was. But for the most part, I mean, if it was bigger than that, you know, I would have probably, you know, had to do something and take a little step further. But you know, it was cool. I think I kind of nipped it in the bud kind of early compared to most people.
So, like you said, you go about, like, it's Legendary Ink. Of course, people should know that by now. But, like what, go into that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what made you even, like, let me see. What made you title the whole movement that?
That was, like, from the jump. Like, before I even decided I wanted to just start tattooing, like, it had to be, I wanted to think of a name.
So you had the name before you even jumped in.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Because, I mean, how you start is, you know, how people, you know, recognize you. You got to start strong and be consistent. So I wanted to start with a name and not really change it up too much. So I don't know, Legendary just kind of stuck out to me, you know, and I just, Legendary Ink, and a lot of people don't really know because they still look up Maserati Mal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody know Maserati Mal. When you're looking for a tattoo, it's Maserati Mal, but you know, everything that I do as far as like whether it be my merch that I want to do and everything, it's gonna be legendary. So legendary
Okay,
ink is what it is.
that. So you talking about merch? You got the physical shit for
yeah, you know, I dibbled and dabbled in it. Yeah, I dibbled and dabbled. I ain't, you know, as consistent with that as I would want to be yet. But you know, that's one of the things that I took in my, you know, my head when I started, you know, branding myself. I wanted to make sure it was a brand so that I could branch out to everything. I didn't want it to just be just tattooing.
Right.
So I didn't want it to be really just be legendary ink. I wanted to just be legendary.
Right.
So I can, you know, umbrella everything that I wanted to do underneath that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's kind of how I came out with it.
So we were expecting like some hoodies, hats. What were we looking at?
Hoodies, hats. Right now I want to try to get in, you know, some long sleeves, some crew necks, some socks. If I can get into that, but yeah, if I can get it all of that going before, you know, while it's still cold, that's what I want to dabble into. Obviously, you know, tanks and tees and whatnot when it get warm, but right now I'm trying to get this merch going as far as for this winter time, because I know everybody usually be asking.
Right.
So I wear most of my stuff, but I don't have it available to the
so they
to
see
the
you
public.
like, you got some more? You got triple X for me?
No triple X's.
So I see you said it's not all just about the tattooing, you know what I mean, when it comes to legendary.
Yeah.
Actually, if anybody is, you know, watching this have ever been in your, you know, tattoo studio, they have seen some of your other work too. You know what I mean? So like you actually do paint a little bit too. You know what I mean? This man designed. We actually might have to throw a little preview of your setup in there.
Room.
You know what I'm saying? Give them a little presentation to see. You know what I mean? They might want to come check it out.
See what it's going. Yeah, it's definitely a vibe. I mean, that's you know, I try to think of everything and try to have everything connected. So obviously the way everything is set up, how the vibe is.
Right.
I wanted to be specific with it. Even when you walk in the door, even walking in, you know, the lighting. It's black lighting. It's certain, you know, tapestries and different arts that you see when you walking through before you even get to the room. So
setting the mood.
Yeah, it's like setting, you know, kind of what you could expect.
So like, if you had to say, or like, I don't know, just, you know, take a little guess, I guess, like, what would you say the overall theme of your art studio, or, you know what I mean, is? Like, what would you,
I mean,
is it a theme, or is it kind of like a...
It's a theme, but it's really not a theme. I mean, to me it's a theme, but it's really not. It's just more of different things that I see that kind of mesh together.
It's that kind of you, huh?
Yeah. It's hard to say, because when I see certain things, it's like I want to add it. It doesn't make sense, but it looks good together. You know what I mean? So, like, I got different paintings that's like glow in the dark paintings, fluorescent paints that change with the light, so it looks like they're animated sometimes when the lights change. I got some that's, you know, just abstract art.
Right.
My wife, just for Christmas, she picked up this big old statues like Mother Earth.
Oh yeah, you got sculptures.
Yeah, sculptures and whatnot in there now. So it's like, you wouldn't think like an astronaut and all of that goes together, you know, but it kind of meshes with all the colors. It ties together.
I'm going to show them that just to go ahead and give them a little preview to that shit, man. And then, like, like, being that I was one of your, you know, test rats, you know what I'm saying? I seen one of your first, you know, setups and shit like that. So it's like, you definitely came. How long ago was that? Like, you know what I mean? Because, like, I've seen people come in and they're like, man, damn, you got some upgrades.
Yeah. I mean, and every time I try to add something, I think the very first setup I had to do when I was like 25. I'm 32 now. So I mean, that first setup, it was like anybody that remember me on Silas.
Right.
You know, it was that living room, dining room mashup. You know, it wasn't no dedicated room for it. So, but even then, you know, I was like tattooing at home. I always, you know, was conscious of people, you know, saying, you know, tattooing on the kitchen table and on the couch. So I never really wanted to do that for long. So as soon as I really got my whole thing, I got a tattoo table. You know what I'm saying? I got some chairs and some different things, you know, because I didn't want to be one of those, even though I'm at the house. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to be one of them.
Still levels to this.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, and that's what I think everybody who started with me then can appreciate.
Yeah.
Even where it is now, because
art and environment too, because like shit, your skill.
Yeah.
Definitely done tripled.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. You still can't, you know, you gotta get better at tattooing, even though you tattooing in the Rolls Royce, you know. It ain't out. Yeah. You know. It's all good though.
So like speaking of, you know what I'm saying, levels to this shit, you know what I mean? You got anywhere where you, I guess you got your focus on where you're trying to get to right now?
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Okay,
I mean, right now my main focus is to try to get, you know, my studio out of the house.
Okay.
But it's a certain way I want to do it. That's why I'm still at the house now. It's not like I can't be out the house.
Right.
I've definitely had offers to be, you know, different shops and whatnot. But
oh, really?
Yeah, but for me, I wanna focus on ownership.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, and it's like this one building I got my eyes set on that I want, and it's kind of, I don't want to settle for anything else other than that.
Right.
I mean, I will if I have to.
Right.
But you know, I kind of got my focus set on this.
That'll be one of those real landmarks. You like?
Yes.
Milestone.
For me, it'd be my flagship store because like
right.
it has all the space to be able to expand and do everything that I would want to do. Everything that I would want to do. You know,
that shit is definitely another level, bro. You talking about a store? Like you talking about? Like,
yeah.
That's. Would you think that the same? I guess the same methods and things would apply, or would you have to like learn some new tools and shit like that as far as running an actual
shop?
Yeah. Would you think it would be different? I wouldn't know. It's real question.
I mean, business side, you would think so, especially, you know, with, you know, the lease owners and the different people that own buildings in town. You know, they would think owning a building or moving to a shop is way harder.
Right.
And they would want you to have some experience. But like with me, I've always, like, trial and error has always been my kind of, my teacher.
See if it work first.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I feel like I've already tested most, like, all techniques and different marketing strategies, different things that I would have to have, counting, you know what I'm saying? So it's not like, even though I'm at the house, I'm just chilling. You know, I'm still operating, moving everything like it's a shop.
Like, oh, I'm just about to just jump into
it.
You definitely know the background work that's gonna have to happen.
Yeah.
Like knowing is half the battle. Some people, I feel like they jump into it and then they get blindsided by a lot of shit.
Right, and really planning. If you plan for pretty much, and me, I plan for plan B, plan C, plan D. You know what I'm saying?
You're not about to catch me.
No, you're not catching me slipping. So yeah.
And even far as like the shop, I know, like, shit, once y'all see how the studio set up now, like, shit.
Oh, yeah.
I know that's going to be a whole nother level, too. More space and shit like
and
that.
That's gonna, like, the whole ideas I have for it, like, I got a whole folder set in my phone as far as, like, even the flooring to the art that I have on the wall. And, like, I got all of that picked out for the space already. It's just a matter of, you know what I'm saying, manifesting and getting it going, you know what I'm saying?
So as far as like, you know, employment, like, would you like be willing to, you know, look around town for like, you know, some local that might be able to, you know, help you out around there? For me, I know, because I get the question all the time if I pierce. And I am not a piercer at all. That is a different art.
I respect it. I ain't got the stomach for it at all. That needle going through, it's something different. It's something different. I can
work on the surface, but once that needle pierces,
we cool on that. So I mean, most definitely, I would want to, you know, try to, you know, partner with somebody who pierced, you know, maybe with a couple other artists. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But as far as like the space, I definitely see myself working with, you know, people, because the space would be too big for me just work by myself. For sure.
So shit, like, you know what I'm saying, we can go ahead and talk about some of your focus, like what you more focused on improving on right now as far as before you even get to that point, you know what I mean?
Like I said, you know, with me changing my pricing up, you know, as far as different points of the year, like right now, at the beginning of the year, I focus more so on like getting to this next, because like it's hard to explain, because at the end of the years, it's like I want to say from October to December, I'm like focusing on a new art pattern.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If that makes sense, you know, I'm looking at different artists, you know, trying to find different techniques that they have that I can add to my repertoire to make, you know, the tattoos a little bit more enhanced. And then, like right now, like from January to March, for me is to kind of fine tune that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? To try to work on that and get as crisp at that technique or whatever it is. Like for me right now, it's more of like filling in bigger, large scale pieces.
Right.
Like I don't want to leave a lot of dead space. You know what I'm saying? I want to get more detailed in the big pieces. So
what's one of your most recent pieces that you could say would like show an example of that people might be able to, you know, go check out?
And see, that's hard, because like I don't like right now. Probably the biggest piece that I've had that I've worked on it is a chest piece for my man Karan.
Okay.
It says ape shell now kill ape.
Oh, I seen that one.
Yeah. It's half a chest piece. So I mean, that's kind of leaning towards more of the style I'm trying to get towards. It's more of shading, less line details and whatnot into it. I'm sure it is. But see, with me not being, taught by anybody, I'm self-taught. So I mean, I just go by for kind of things that I see. So I'm really not really good with the terminology as far as with all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Like being able to read music. Like,
yeah. I can still play. You know what I'm saying? Right. Exactly. I can still play. So
even being self-taught, like, you know what I mean, where did it come from? Like, 'cause, you know, I mean, I know, but like a lot of people might not know that you can actually, draw with pencil and just actual art too, you know what I mean, on paper, like, you know what I mean?
Because a lot of people ask, about the paintings, because they, like you said, they don't know that I could draw still, because I mean, but I've always been able to draw. It's just something I still wouldn't even consider myself an artist, because sometimes I can't really see and be able to draw things right out of my head. I'm more of I gotta see it and I can damn near sketch it exactly how it is type of thing. And looking back at it, I've always done that. I've always been a tracer. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Grandma has some tracing paper. I put it over whatever, coloring book, just trace right over that and be able to get my own picture.
Mixed up with that method of like how drawing and tattooing is similar, but definitely different. Like,
and even in the tattoo industry itself in a whole, they're kind of even getting away from drawing. Period. A lot of people, they're getting the iPads and they're going the more digital way of going with stuff. So I mean,
you ever thought about that? Like,
for sure. It's more of, is it cost effective for me for the equipment, because I've had printers to where I could print out the stencil directly and I don't have to draw anything. I can just put the stencil directly on you. But
like a little futuristic step.
Type step. But it the printer would only last for about a month or two. So is it really
an investment?
Because that thing ain't cheap. So it's like it's definitely benefits in moving towards that side though.
So, you know what I mean, you got any influences or like anybody specifically that you might want to name as far as like what you've been looking at and trying to focus on and maybe gain something from them?
I mean,
it could be some famous artists, anybody, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, everybody that I look at is mainly on Instagram, because even if you go Google, Pinterest, or any place else like that, they're gonna tag the artist's Instagram. Right. You know what I'm saying? So
give them his credit.
Yeah, so I go straight to the source, and like for me, I follow different artists for different things. Like if I got some cover up set up for the week or whatever, I'm looking at a certain artist. So if I got some roses and I wanted to look a certain way, you know what I'm saying, I'm looking at this artist. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, mainly most of the artists I look at, they down in Atlanta. Or they're down south somewhere. So
that sounds about right.
Yeah. That's where the move is, really.
I heard you mention cover-ups too.
That's
a whole. I feel like that's another game inside the game. Bro.
It is.
That's like, bro. You can tattoo but cover-ups, that's a whole nother little shit.
Yeah. People.
Were you always able to do that though?
Cover-ups?
Yeah, like is that something you would have tried in the beginning years?
I mean, no, for sure not. For sure not in the beginning years. I mean, I've done some, because I mean, you gotta jump out there, because you won't know if you'll be able to do it unless you actually do it. Right. You know what I'm saying?
What was your first one that you tried to do?
I couldn't tell you, but whoever it is, I'm sorry. For sure. For sure. I don't know. But that is not. I mean, that's what people don't understand too, though. It's like, even with tattooing, just because you can tattoo doesn't mean, for one, that you want to tattoo everything, or two, that you can tattoo everything. People have different styles. You know what I'm saying? And that's really. I don't know. I kind of would say that it's up to the clients to kind of look at the artists and kind of look at their style and judge what piece you're wanting based off of that. But a lot of times, like I said, people just think just because you tattoo, you can tattoo anything. But some people don't cover up at all. Some people don't do lettering at all. So I mean, it just depends.
So like, what would you consider as like? Well, I know you do multiple different types of things, but like, what would you consider like your style to be? Like, if somebody looking for like if they hit you up and be like, okay, I see his style of art, I'm probably gonna go ahead and hit him up. What would you think they like looking at, like seeing it as?
Yeah, and you know what? I had a name for it because somebody actually, I had came across somebody saying a name for it, but I can't really remember. It's like some kind of realism because it's not. I don't do a whole lot of realism, but like the shading effect that I have sometimes can give some of the pictures, some kind of realistic feel to it.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
You know what I'm saying? But there's other artists who do like super realistic type stuff. That's why they're like perfect for portraits.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Shit, they'll be like, so you can do this? Like, bro, do you know that's the fucking...
That's totally, yes. Come on, man.
Real shit.
But, it's all good. I mean, like for me, as far as for my art, I think most people... I mean, I like to dibble and dabble in different genres, so it's really not like a specific, I guess, art style for it.
Okay. I get you. So it's like shit, being that you've been in this for so long, you know what I mean, and being that you're not just thinking about one art style when it comes to like legendary or whatever, like have you found any like new passion over the years, you know what I'm saying, like that may tie into this somehow, like I'm like, oh.
Yeah, and I try to find different things every year because it seems like different things kind of
keep you motivated.
I don't know. Not really motivated, kind of unlocks a different thing for me, like a different way to think about tattooing because like I said, for me, I'm self-taught, so I had to go a roundabout way of thinking about trying to do it rather than, somebody showing me. So I use different things, like, I don't know, like painting for me, I never was a painter. I just started painting like maybe a year or two ago.
Oh, okay.
But even with painting, that kind of helped me unlock a certain way of thinking about going about,
your whole brand,
the whole tattooing period.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So it's like different things,
What's up, man? So go ahead and shout out anybody, that been in your corner or whatever. Or, matter of fact, let us know about any up and coming things that might be coming over the horizon too.
I mean, just like I said, keep an eye out for me branching out to this building. Once I do, it's gonna be big for the whole city because you got to think there's not really any black-owned shops anywhere locally around in the central Illinois, you know what I'm saying? So that's definitely going to be something big. So make sure y'all keep an eye out, keep supporting everybody that's in town that's, an artist. Y'all quit bad talking, you know what I'm saying? Because I get a lot of them, y'all get in here and y'all bad talk and y'all try to pit us against each other. And that's not really the thing because we all trying to get together and get to the same spot. But, I mean... As far as like, shout outs, shout out Kashif, shout out, Ahmad,
shout out.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody that's doing art, you know what I'm saying? Shout out the wife.
Shout out. Y'all heard,
shout out the wife, you know what I'm saying? Lambo LeK.
Interview coming soon. Interview coming soon. But, y'all gonna check that out.
And shout out you, you know what I'm saying? Mo, ClANMADE, CLOUDIIISTUDIOS, because, my little bro doing his thing, man.
Much love. That guys to do that. Hey, before we get up out of here, go ahead and shout out your socials and everything so they get the right.
Yeah. I mean, Facebook, really everything is gonna be Maserati Mal.
Okay.
Even Instagram is Maserati.mal. You just gotta make sure that you following the right one. I mean, it's hard to say to follow the right one, but
right. What's the picture? What's the profile?
It's the one with content, you know what I'm saying? Even the one at the fake page, it only had like 7 pictures up. You know what I'm saying? I've been tattooing for a while. I'm gonna have
a little bit of research,
pictures.
Man. Y'all spending money. You gotta know where you're going. Where you going with that shit?
Yeah, but I mean Facebook, even the text number. Let me shout that out. You can text 217-706-3557. Make sure that you texting. Don't just hit me with a Yoda on there. You know what I'm saying? Let me know who it is. What you want? You know what I'm saying? I can't go off of it, yo.
Real shit, bro. Definitely been a vibe in there, man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I'm glad we did this. We had to do it. It's long overdue. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let's not wait so long till next time.
Yeah, man. I got you. I ain't gonna stunt, man. I feel like this was the perfect timing, You know what I mean?
It kind of was. Everything kind of perfect timing.
It's the perfect timing. You know what I mean? But hey, it's been another one, man. That's how we doing it, man. It's ClANMADE interviews. I'm your boy Floater. That's what's going on. It's nothing new, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm here with my boy Maserati Mount.
Yeah.
Get into him. It's another one. Yeah.
Whoa. Whoa, whoa. Yeah, yeah. These niggas think they that and say they this, but ain't on shit. These bitches try to act like they don't miss a step or slip. Like niggas don't got no time, I'm still aligned, this shit a gift. I checks that's bottom line, you know the sign, get to it quick. Might break if you cross the line, don't make me crash out in this bitch. When left, don't pay no mind, I'm still gon' blast like I'm too lit. Stand tall, that's how I ball, I shoot my shot, that's for the win. Going strong, my y'all, that's all I got, that's all I give. In the zone, this where I be a lot, this where